Followed by the after show with Sean.
Yeah, it's coming.
All right, yeah, let's get you caught up here on how things shaped up so far today. We are ending the session basically at the highs for both the S&P 500 and the Qs. So a good look right across the board. And yes, it was led by strength from chip names all day long. Look at that. Basically, to the tick, in fact, at the highs for the Qs, 1.1% across the board. It was strong right out of the gate this morning. You can see right from 9:30, nothing but straight to the upside. A little bit of sideways action throughout the midday, but overall pretty impressive. And yeah, a lot of green on the tech end of the board. Services to the upside, hardware to the downside. Apple, NVIDIA, AVGO, AMD, all impressive. 6.7% when all is said and done. If you missed it, Morgan Stanley adds NVIDIA to their top picks list, which is typically pretty positive catalyst for stocks right across the board. There's, I want to zoom in down there. That is Micron, 6.3% for Micron, so 6.7 for NVIDIA. It's been a while since we've had a couple of 6% type moves in one individual sector. Texas Instruments, 2.5 to the upside, but all of these as well, back higher. All of these as well, back higher, thank you. Microsoft, Google, Meta, Oracle, Adobe after a bit of a choppy end to last week, CRM and Netflix as well. End the day basically at session highs. The entire banking group in negative territory outside of, look at JP Morgan, 0.01 in positive territory. Everything else pretty much negative on the day. So banks offset to the downside. Amazon, nice look, 1% to the upside. We'll get some of these as we've been saying throughout the week. Walmart, Home Depot, TJX, all negative when all is said and done. Utility stocks in the red. We have consumer durables, that is, in the red. Tesla downside to the tune of 1.5% as well. It is one of those days where we had some big tech names to the upside, some of the weaker names back in the red when all is said and done. But yeah, Sean's going to mention this coming up, but nice look for Michael Burry, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But he's uber short, apparently, both the Qs and the SPY. 40,000 puts on both. So we'll see how that plays out for him. Apparently, the rally is over, according to Michael Burry, but not today as we end at the highs. Chip makers were responsible for a lot of that. If you rewind the tape right back to the pre-market, we were discussing this move both after the close on Friday and then again here in the pre-market this morning. AMC ending the day basically at the lows after this conversion gets approved, or a revamped conversion gets approved back on Friday. So we'll see what remains to be seen, or what is in store for AMC going forward. A couple other notable names here. Nikola downside, Cleveland Cliffs on that X deal, soon to be ticker, or Twitter's new ticker symbol when it comes back to the market. I'm just going to throw that out there because that will happen. Mosaic and SLCA. I didn't even see that one, but Silica Holdings, Mr. Katina, apparently was up 2.5% when
Mr. Katina,
all was said and done.
Hell?
How's the setup looking? Good?
Yeah, the setup's looking all right here.
Well, welcome to a Monday after market show.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, is this the first one? When did we start last week? Was it Tuesday?
I feel
was
like
it a holiday?
Yes, you're right. Tuesday.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Well, we're here for Monday now. We've got we've got Michael Nauss coming through very, very shortly here, just for a quick little trade talk at 4:15. I want to discuss only one thing with you, Michael. You were in the chat talking about Amazon. Let's do that at some point. Yeah, here goes the topics. Okay, so we're going to do a couple market recaps here today. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I do have to call up the show so I can get live with you guys right now and check out the chat, as we do have to set this up. And we're going to figure out a little bit of a better way that I can get over here, maybe a little bit quicker into the close. But look at these chip names today. If you come over to the screen, this is NVIDIA just continuing to make monster moves here today, up to 438 and change, and still trying to go, even in the aftermarket, 438.37, 436. Was a level there that I thought we could dip through, but that never happened here today. It is NVIDIA. Nice move. And I said it. Look at this candle, man. It's pretty clear here. The largest single day candle since earnings, which made it all the way back up to the upside. You don't even, again, Morgan Stanley, nice move upside. Check out AMD as well today. Another big candle, its largest day upside today, hitting that 4.5%. So the chips today, bottom pick. You're welcome for those, they say, as it goes all the way back up. I'm still a short man, and I talked about this with NVIDIA today, and we had Daniel Shea on as well. Just talking about, I'm worried about this gap fill. Whether or not it comes or not, we'll have to wait to see NVIDIA, but there it is right now. Current live price, 438.65. Let's see if there's any outsized moves today. This is the Qs, of course, the XLK. This is part of the board here. It's the market recap. So we're going to have a quick look to see if there's anything popping out here, sort of out of the blue. The NASDAQ did make a move down, and again, just because this was near the bottom, nice move back up. I still think I want to fade most of these moves, so we'll be able to see what happens with the NASDAQ coming through. Of course, the spiders, the SPY as an ETF, again, right near a spot where you had to make up your mind today. Either you were holding this 443 or you weren't. They did hold, and the next move, of course, is to the downside. What's up, Ramin? And now let's just go back over. Let's find out TAN today. This is the solar ETF as this continues to make moves down. What's up with that? Is solar not going to be the future? Or is it? Solar with a nice move down right there. Might be time to take advantage of that. Let's do a little quick roll call right now. I want to thank everybody for joining me again on this show as we continue to make this something special. Thank you, Andrew. He loves having Sean. That's a good one for sure. What's up to Trend right now? What's up to Dan here today? OR trade today. What OR? Give me an idea what that means right there as I'm still in La La Land there. Michael Burry, we do want to talk about that. Shout out to Tony Price and Ponzi Fonzie, as I will keep the chat up and make sure that I do not ignore anybody into that. But yeah, I don't have too much else happening right now. You're going to see some red sectors today, including the XLF, as we get some moves down there for Goldman Sachs. We were looking at WFC today as well, but it is a nice move down a little bit again for the XLF. Been high up here near 37. Let's see if it does make a move and pull back down. Just quickly, a shout out to Michael Nauss and Trade Ideas. He's going to tell me to update this platform, so I have to do that. We are going to have Michael Nauss in here live with us at some point to talk about a new release of a web version for all of this. But moving in the aftermarket right now, post-market movers, you can see here, nothing really hitting now that I can see going through anything here. Rumble, we did want to look at that. I'm a little nervous of Rumble, of course, because after it broke through 10 bucks and is no longer SPACable at that $10 level, you do worry that there is no longer that hit. But you can see up here to 887 right now, 870, and moving around after reporting strong second quarter results here for Rumble. So a nice little move here. Revenue to date, 25 million, increase of 468%. So again, a really nice move upside for Rumble, but now fading back in just a little bit here. I have to find out. Let's go over, let's see a 2-minute chart here. So there's the move back up to 9 and now fading out a little bit here in the post. So we'll find out what's now happening with Rumble coming back in off of not a bad day at all for that. So that's a little bit of market recap. Let's go talk now and go with the next topic. And it moved down. So there it goes. Next topic, talk about Michael Burry. So I wanted to bring this up to everybody today. Michael Burry today, and I don't know if you can see this. Whoa, you can see it definitely right there. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit more here and talk about this. So this is Michael Burry. They tweeted out, and this is as of June 30th. So this is the quarter ending. Let's try to find out some of his positions. What everybody is talking about, though, is this. This is the triple Qs. This is now, and I wrote this down, let me get this exact number here. It's $1.6 billion bet, which is 93% of Zion Capital's current positions is in the InvestQ, QQQ short right there, as well as, let's go down and find the next put on board right now, the S&P 500 ETF. So this is all as of June 30th. So let's just take a quick look here, and I'm going to talk about some more. Shout out to everybody that's here as well. Herd Scrambler. Meanwhile, in Finland, how is it in Finland these days? Rumble with a nice earnings report. Yeah, congratulations to that. But falling back right now was up 8, 9, 10%. Now only up 1.5 for Rumble. But let's just look quickly at the Qs. So we'll bring this back over and just look at a day chart for the triple Qs. So let's go back. This is as of right here. So there's June 30th. So they were short, definitely just short into this area. So finally, that $1.6 billion bet looks like it's coming back a little bit for Burry and company, but this is just where they're short right now. So if they're 1.6 billion short on the Qs, and again, they're puts, so we can't tell you an exact price. I don't know the exact price, but he had to hold out a little bit there, going from let's say right here, as of June 30th, we were at 360, 370. It does make that move up to 390. So a little bit of pain having to endure, but right now coming back in. Let's see if he's right. Where will he cover? I don't know, 350 looks like a decent spot there. So if the Qs do come in as I think it's going to, it's nice to be met there with Michael Burry. A little funny thing that I found here on the web, and it was, this is Michael Burry just chilling out here, and everyone's partying it up. Dance, baby, dance if you're on the NASDAQ, but your boy is here in the corner thinking you have no idea what is about to come. But there was a few things that I wanted to look at here on his holdings that I was looking at before we came on the air here. And I just wanted to talk about some of them. CVS, again, a nice position as well on CVS. Let me see if I can, for some reason it's all zoomed in over there. Let me just do this. Again, this computer, I just have to edit it just a little bit. There it is right now. CVS right there, 2.5 million shares, 7 million shares there with the value is right there. So 7 million with 100,000 shares of CVS. That was pretty interesting. We can have a look at that. Hanes brand as well. I thought clothing hasn't been great. He's also in 400,000 shares of that name. These are all longs. The only thing that's a put here or a call, as far as I can see, there's no minus signs here. He's just short the market and long a couple other key names. So that's what I wanted to look at coming through. There's the QQQs again. And then what was the other one? Stellantis right there. 325,000 shares of that EV name it's a car name, but EV name to the downside there for Stellantis. So pretty interesting here with Michael Burry. We're going to get lined up with Michael Nauss coming in one more time. But again, it's Rumble doing the moves, coming back in Rumble. VF Corp moving around a little bit here in the aftermarket. And we have this little scan going for us. Novartis, nice move to the downside, on Navitas. Semiconductor, nice little report for them from 860 up to 950 right there. So there's a nice second quarter report for Navitas. Nice upside move for them. And thanks again for Michael for developing this. Really able to see that. And I know when he comes on, I'm going to get in trouble for not upgrading this. But again, thanks to everybody there. Now, Adam, you are number 172. So thank you to everybody here that's joining us one more time for the show. The other thing I want to talk about actually, and this is pretty interesting, maybe me and Michael can do this as well. Look at this for a stat. So I'm pulling some interesting things here, and I do want to talk about it. So the green is the last 10 years. This is the average one-day share price reaction to earnings, okay? So if you've beat on earnings, right, this was 1.6%. So right now, this year, if you've beat, you're giving up only 0.6% to the upside. So that's a 1% difference. That's pretty huge, man, when you're talking about it. But look what they're doing to the missed or the in line. Before, if you're in line, you're only down 1%. This year, you're down over 3% on an in-line, inline earnings per share. Look what happens if you're missing. You're getting hit almost just as much as if you are in line. So what this tells me is that a lot of these names priced to perfection. We've seen names like Apple just come out. And look at Apple, AAPL. I'm pretty sure we know that ticker symbol. Apple down now. Let's go over to the daily on this one. Down huge off of their in line pretty much number. Look at this move back down, now pulling down over 10% down in for Apple. I guess after today it's up a little bit better than that. But some of these names, Microsoft, Apple, all pulling back. Google as well. The next leg to drop. Meta, another name that's fallen back in. But let's bring up Michael Nauss. How are you doing, Mr. Michael Nauss? As let's go over to the next topic first. Oh, we still got NVIDIA. We already talked about that. Let's go to the next one. It is Trade Talk. Let me do this quickly, Michael. I see you sitting there in the wings, Mr. Michael Nauss, and I also saw you come up with our big trade of the day, your Amazon. Let's sort of pump the tires here about that. What did you see in Amazon this morning for anybody that didn't join us? And what do you like today and moving forward on this big name? Hello, Michael Nauss.
How's it going? So, yeah, this morning I came in, I basically talked about a key level on the S&P 500 that I think that would hold,
Right.
Knowing that we are in a world in which a time and a seasonality of choppiness. And it's basically just this level right here that I'm drawing in now, right? These prior resistance points coming in to act as support. So if I knew if I was right and if the market is going to be choppy for a period of time, and then I want to buy things that are pulling back, and I want to buy them that are pulling back at strategic levels. And one of the favorite scans that we have over at Trade Ideas right now, and something that I'm using all the time, and you had Brian Shannon on, a great friend and mentor of mine when it comes to trading, this anchored VWAP play. And so what's happening here is the system draws in the anchored VWAP from right before the gap on this play. So Amazon had this great earnings gap, popped up nicely for it, but it spent the next 5-6 days just slowly and on low volume pulling down to that anchored VWAP. So earlier in the day, I kind of mentioned, I said, hey, if this can get going today, maybe over 140, I'm going to take it for a swing. But I was actually able to zoom in a little bit using anchored VWAP again. 30-minute chart is probably going to be the lowest time frame intraday you see me on. But you see that anchored VWAP is still there, that purple line. I'll just kind of highlight it out here to make it a little bit better. But so after we had the run in off the morning, when we came back, we found support right at that anchored VWAP level, the exact level that I was talking about earlier in the day. So that's where I pulled the trigger and I bought mine. I know I'm wrong if we break down under these lows. And the fact that it had that run at the end of the day, closed over 140, which is what I was after, is exactly what I want. So now I'm in the area where my risk is going to be near nothing, assuming no crazy overnight gap, to a very, very small amount. And if I'm right, and we even just get back to earnings highs, that's 143. So I'm risking like $1 to make 4 or 5. If we break through that, maybe I'm risking $1 to make $10. Who knows? So it's a great way just to kind of say, hey, you have the idea going into the day. You do all your scanning the night before when the market's closed, and then you have that plan to execute when it goes into today. So I like NVIDIA. I like what happened, Amazon. I like what happened in tech today. And if we get a continuation off that level I drew out in the SPY, I think we might be, back to the races. Now, what I will say is that's the area to defend now. So Friday's low on the SPY. If we break that, then I've got to change my tune. I got to get out of some things and maybe start looking for some shorts.
Did you want to quickly talk about, and I was saying as a joke that I'm going to get in trouble for using an old version, which I clearly am. Again, any updates on when we're going to be releasing the web-based version for Trade Ideas? And as we could still get the Trader TV 20 for anybody looking to grab a Trade Ideas subscription.
We are testing it vigorously internally now. We may have gotten all the bugs out of the way.
Nice.
We just want to make sure that it's clear and it's good to go. We're hoping for sometime this week, and if that happens, I'm actually going to be in studio with you guys next Friday. So I'll go over it. I'll show you all the bells and whistles, and not only talk about what it is right now, but what the plan is to be in the future. So this is a web version that works on your phone, your iPad. We're building new and fancy tree maps and high-low tickers and distribution graphs and all kinds of cool stuff that we can't do currently in the system, but we're expanding out to this new version. So think of it as all of the experience that we've had over the last 20 years of building Trade Ideas completely ported to a new system so that we can do so much cooler stuff with. So we're kind of rebooting the system, a whole new reimagining with, again, everything we've learned, because Trade Ideas has been around now for 20 years.
That. I've been around for 22 years, so I got trade ideas beat, but thanks for that. That's going to be a great update. And I'm going to let you go now. It's going to be a quick little segment, but someone had a question on here, and I might have missed it as well, or I'd answer it for you. I think it was either Adam or lightly above that. How long do you expect to be in this Amazon trade? And shout out to our chat again. We have the best chat around. Is there a target upside? Would this 143.50 be something, which is the recent high of Amazon? Is that something where you may trim, or are you just simply waiting and playing the momentum and may not get out of anything until you get that signal? What is your plan of action here for Amazon, for anybody that might have joined you on the long today? Again, if they'd missed what you just said about 5 minutes ago.
I try to hold as much as possible for as long as possible.
Okay.
So if we get up to that high and we start to struggle, I'll definitely trim some. But the way that I trade as a trend follower and as a swing trader, time is not my enemy. Time is my friend. I don't have to fight for the close of the end of the day or something like that in order to take a trade on. So if it's not working for me, I could be out as soon as tomorrow. If it is working for me and we break and we clear that level, I could be in it for days, weeks, or months. One suggestion I have is, pick your favorite moving average, a 10 period, a 20 period, whatever it is, and try to make sure that you hold some of it until that moving average breaks. Because the benefit of that is that if it reverses quickly, it stops you out, you're out. If, for example, we get another massive run in Amazon, which we had earlier in the year, then you're able to stick with it and just, not do a whole lot of work and make more money, which is kind of what we're all after.
Yeah, we're all about that. Thank you, Mr. Michael Nauss from Trade Ideas. Thank you for joining again, a great friend of the show. And that's it for Trader Talk. Thank you, Mr. Nauss. We'll catch you back on the main show at some point in time. Thank you, Mr. Nauss. Looking forward to seeing you in person next Friday. Good luck with that, Trade Ideas.
Thank you.
And that was your Trader Talk. Hey, there's Michael Nauss still there. What's up, Michael Nauss? All right, thank you so much for that. And thank you again. I think it was HPDS that had that question. How long will Michael hold Amazon right there? So thank you to everybody in the chat. If you're liking the show, throw up some ones there in the chat, and we'll do another roll call for you. There it is, Derek S. as well. You're welcome, man. I mean, that's what we want to do is, again, we have some pretty good traders around here that we know, and we're working on a few more coming through very, very soon on that one. You know what? It's now Stock Blitz time. As we go over to the next topic, what a great segment divider that is, and it's going to be Tesla. Look, today's day trade for me, I was not on Tesla today at all, thankfully. Well, I don't know if it's thankfully or not. I got run over shorting all those chip names, and we talked about that. Some days you are going to get hit, but I like Tesla. I've recently bought it in my long-term account, so let's talk about why I've done that right here. Tesla on the pullback in, looking again. It just didn't go today, but if you're going to look at this, this does look like a pullback, very similar to what we've seen on NVIDIA, the NASDAQ, the SPY, coming in, trying to fill some gaps, and Tesla is right at this spot right now. So what was a downside day here? 1.26% for Tesla. I still think it has room to get back up to the upside, but at the same time, it also does have room to fall back into this 220 area. So price cuts happening over there in China. Look, if they come in over to North America, I think that's a good thing. When I first heard those price cuts, I was like, uh-oh, we're shrinking margins. That's never a good sign. But you know what else it does? It forces competition to rethink their pricing. And what I think is going to be a little bit of a sticky consumer when it comes to pricing, I don't want to overpay for a Rivian, although my wife does. I still think that the Tesla, the Model Y is a banger car. I still think they could come out with a Model 2 or something a little less than the Model 3. Get those compact cars rolling, then you can get a little bit of a newer consumer that can come in here, hit some Tesla, and possibly, I think they're doing that with the truck. That's going to get some new people involved if they can withstand the look of it, the flatbed, lack of a flatbed. Let's see its towing capacity. I'm more excited for possible, and Elon has said he's not going to do a bike, but I still think that there could be a possible trade there if there's ever something else, whether it be a little e-bike, a scooter, something like that for Tesla. I think people go out and buy that, and I think they do buy a $20,000, $25,000 little smart compact car. Mercedes did it with the smart car. BMW did it. I don't see why. Golf with the Volkswagen, I think that's Volkswagen's highest selling car of all time, the little Golf. Why can't Tesla come out and do that? I'm a buyer of any dips into this 220, into this 200 level for Tesla. Do we understand that could be a lower take here? Sure, but I just bought some at 242 right into this gap. I still think Tesla can work. So again, a big shout out to everybody. Thanks for all the support on this afternoon show. We're going to have to put a TV over by that camera because I have to keep looking over here to see what's next. What does it say next on there? Tomorrow's trade today. Okay, last week, if you remember when I was here on Thursday, we talked about Alibaba and what a great fade that was off of $100. And look what happened to Alibaba off earnings. Nice little downside move. So that has really worked out for itself here today. What do I think tomorrow's trade is? Well, I would say look no further than the chip space. Let's go back over to AMD. And I might sound like a broken record on this as we hit 430, but look, I'm going to be smarter about this today. We shorted AMD. Let's give ourselves a game plan here for tomorrow. Let's call up a 10-minute chart here on AMD and just be smart about this. Look at this. Huge upside move into AMD, but guess what? Knock, knock on heaven's door. We're coming up to this 113, 114 area. This looks very, very similar to what we just saw at 110. We could have got out of the way today, but did not. And on the main show, we talked about that possibly coming out of the way here for AMD. Why not wait for this thing, see if we get a gap up? We had that Navitas have a great report after market. Let's see if AMD can continue that. And as you can see right now, trying to get going here upside. We'll see if Advanced Micro can do it right now at 428 up to 112.18. And again, sort of continuing that move. I really like this play into 113. If we're going to get stopped out, let's make sure it's at 114 and let's not dig in a little bit too early to that. We could also trade tomorrow. Oh, did I go to next topic? You already did. Thank you for that one. Let's go over to Rumble. This could be another trade happening right now as we speak. Rumble with a good report, nice upside move, and it actually shot higher here. It's not on this screen. Let me pull up my other trade ideas screen here on this one, where we can have a little bit of a pre-market look here on trade ideas. It's right here, calling it up. Oh, it's behind this. No, it's not. I'll find it for you. Rumble goes up to $9 and fades out. So let's just get that going here on Rumble one more time. Oops, that's the wrong sheet there. That was our NASDAQ sheet. But Rumble making the move up on nice volume. I'm still looking at that up to this 840 level, which we're at right now on RUM. It's Rumble. Where is that trade ideas pre-market scanner? There it is right here. Let's just type in RUM. Have a quick look at what Rumble did here in the aftermarket. This is, of course, a daily chart. Let's just go over to a 1-minute chart. There's the move I'm looking for, up to $9. So I still think we'll find out about that report. But again, Rumble fading off of $10. I really like that trade as well. Look at this. Huge move up to $9.24. Then the move happens all the way back down to $7.50, giving us some room for concern here on Rumble. What is the bottom? Wow, look at that. Okay, so it's already held $7.40. Could be a good trade on that. The bottom today on Rumble down to $7.40 off of today. There it is right there. Look at that. $7.40 goes all the way back to that daily area for that area of concern back down to the 5th. That's not the 5th. That's the 5th month, May, back there for Rumble. Okay, man, thank you so much. That was a good day. We also did have AMC was another mover today that I think we could watch out for that name going through. Now down to 342 on the daily and still moving around today as AMC gets earnings call. Good earnings. Definitely nothing wrong with that. But then they get that approval where they could start to dilute a little bit more. And we saw the APE shares going APE upside 15% today with AMC moving around the other way. So that's that. Thank you so much for everybody who did join us today. It's 4:30, man. That's our cutoff. That's the wrap. We're going to have a few more guests coming through. Thank you to Michael Nauss for this. Thank you to everybody for watching. As earnings flow through, we will continue to monitor those. But it's the closing show. It's the after hours. Please like and subscribe to the stream. It's going to give you a little bit of action here. We're going to get the format pegged out a little bit better. But thank you to Michael Nauss. Thank you to Fabian for running it for me this afternoon. It's been a good one. I'm Sean Katina. This is the after show for Trader TV Live, and we'll catch you tomorrow at 8:30. Ciao, everybody.